Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we're doing a retrospective review of April Fool's Day. The joke's on you.
Hey, what's this? You up for a game of stretch?
Directed by Fred Walton, starring Deborah Foreman, Amy Steele, and Ked Oland. April Fool's Day is about a group of people going to a cottage to meet their friend Muffy. On their way, there's an accident, and they're a little on edge, but they continue to party throughout the weekend and pull pranks on each other. Well, some of the pranks go wrong, and people turn up missing and or dead. This is a retrospective. This is full of spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, we highly recommend you watch it first because there's a lot of stuff to spoil here. And if you're gonna watch it first, do it with our commentary because we recorded a full commentary as our very first watch ever. I think it's fun to listen to our reactions. So check out the Patreon, linked in the description and the pinned comment. But otherwise, we're gonna spoil everything, so let's just jump into our likes.
I liked our cast. I think we had a great selection of characters. In particular, I think Arch and Chaz were probably my favorite of the bunch.
Hi, Arch Cummings.
Chaz Vashinsky, you've got great legs.
They weren't the comic relief because there really wasn't a need for that. Everyone was like doing their own thing, but their personalities were the best. They were the most entertaining and the stylish ones too.
Would the Birdman of S&M worry?
Very funny, Chaz.
We do have like a really great cast just in general. I think everybody did an awesome job because you need all of these different kind of characters, especially in a house filled with pranks. Amy Steele did a great job as Kit, and most people recognize her from Friday 2, one of the best final girls ever, in my opinion. And another favorite final girl of mine is Deborah Foreman from Destroyer that plays Muffy in this. I think they both did a great job, and I think specifically Muffy because she had to kind of change her personality a little bit and be Buffy, her twin sister. Dun dun dun!
It was a complete 180 that definitely didn't fool the audience. But
And which I think is actually hilarious because a lot of this movie is built up and you're like, what's going on with this girl? Like, she's obviously changed, she doesn't seem right. And when they reveal that it's a twin sister at the end, you're like, what a twist! But you're kind of mocking it, like we were joking. But I think that a lot of people would have been caught off guard for some reason.
especially at the time.
Like, we've seen so many movies now where it's like, okay, there's gotta be like a twin here, a twin there, maybe like an estranged cousin that looks the same somehow.
Careful what you say to him, though. He's Muffy's cousin.
Distant.
The reveal is actually kind of hilarious because you're like, Muffy and Buffy.
It's not Muffy, it's her twin sister Buffy. She's got a twin sister.
Or when they like pull up the picture in the desk and it's just like the two identical short-haired twins. You're thinking like this is like straight out of Sleepaway Camp at this moment.
Yeah, and even on the phone, the guy picks up the phone and he's like, oh, Muffy? Yeah, something. He's just like, uh-oh. And for some reason, he doesn't relay the information, but like, you know. But what you don't know is the best part of this entire movie, which is the bigger twist. The twist encompassing the other twists. It was all an April Fool's joke.
Like the pranks were well done in this film.
For sure.
Like-
Especially when you see like that knife one at the beginning, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck happened here?
We got him!
Right after that, a guy falls off the boat and gets his like head squished. And you're like, is this a prank? Is this not a prank? What's going on? So the whole film has you guessing what's actually a prank or what is a murder.
But what you don't know and what you don't suspect is that the whole thing is a setup for like a murder mystery Airbnb, which is so far ahead of its time. In 1986, like this is what people are looking for these days. You can go to like Friday the 13th sleepaway camp kind of things and have a weekend adventure that's just like this. And I love that it's just like, well, it's either I do this or I can't keep the house.
Muffy needed to convince her dad that she could afford the property because that's her inheritance. So she comes up with this murder mystery whodunit filled with pranks. Before Ashton Kutcher had his thing, we've got Muffy doing her thing.
Absolutely great. Our reactions, like we were mind blown when we watched this because even if I had seen this like way back in high school or something, I imagine I had because I watched a lot of 80s movies, but I didn't know anything. Like we were completely dumbfounded when this happened because we thought we were damn geniuses when it's like, yeah, of course. they're sisters, and then boom, and you're like, wait, everybody was not in on this, or were. Like, when they break it all down and they go through, it's like, that guy's a makeup guy. Your friends, yeah, they weren't in on it until we said, hey, come on, pull a prank with us.
And what's nice about it is they held the shot for so long that it gives you a chance to digest. When she busts into that room, you see everyone alive and okay, but nobody's talking. Like, they're talking, you just don't hear the audio. You can't even break it down yourself because you're so thrown off by it.
I thought everybody was dead because when we saw Big Harv, or Hal, as we call him now, I guess. When we found out that 6 people died in fog, there was a car accident. I'm like, wait, they've been dead the whole time, John. We've been bamboozled.
It's like that campfire...
Campfire tales.
Yeah, campfire tales. They're all dead, telling their stories.
That's a spoiler for a movie you can't even buy these days. Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, somebody needs to put Campfire Tales out.
4 teenagers are about to learn that when you tell too many scary stories, you just might end up in one. Christine Taylor and Jacinda Barrett.
Not bad, huh?
Campfire Tales.
Between the fun jokes that everybody are having with each other, the pranks, the kills, the little tension segments that we have, because we have a pretty large cast, like there's 9 people, so you're going off with certain people. Like, the movie, it kind of speeds along. And even though the kills are all off screen, and now we know why, I never once was like, oh man, I wish I saw that kill. In a lot of other 80s slasher movies, we needed that kill because there was such a big build up, because something might have been like drawn out a little bit longer. In this, it was just like go, 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 go. And not once did we question why we didn't see a kill on screen, which is great writing.
This was a very large whodunit film. And when we're more invested in who the killer could be or why people are dying versus actually seeing them die. Like you said, it made perfect sense for why we didn't see any on-screen kills. If we actually saw someone on screen die, then the great reveal that it was all a prank wouldn't have had the same impact. Because we would have been, no, we saw Chaz get his dick cut off, so there's no way he's walking around right now.
That mid-credit scene, I was still convinced. Like, we saw she got her neck sliced. But nope, like, you got me again. It was good. And even like the scares, there are some scares, like even right at the beginning with the stupid Jack in the Box. I'm like, yeah. It's a Jack in the Box. It's gonna jump out, it's gonna scare me. It did scare me because not only did it pop open the moment I said that, but it wasn't even a Jack in the Box. It was like some boggling thing. I was terrified. I still don't get the relevance of that Jack in the Box, or why April Fool's Day was the thing, or April Fool Day, as they kept calling it.
April Fool.
They're like, oh, April Fool. I like the music. It was straight from Donkey Kong Country underwater levels. Now, what didn't we like? I don't like how half the cast didn't recognize that Muffy had changed. You're having half a glass of rosé, then the next day everybody's hungover, you go downstairs, and there's this haggard version of Muffy, just like cooking up some breakfast like, oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Ma'am, you didn't even drink a whole bottle yourself.
Good morning.
I was just hungry.
How did they not know right out the gate that was not their friend?
The scene right before that, we see Arch like taking a little nibble on her neck and being very playful.
Just a heads up for anyone who is new here, if this is the video you found. These dislikes are basically just us talking shit. I don't really have many dislikes to this movie. We're just talking shit. Were the rungs in the well even a prank, or did that just happen to happen? Because what a weird series of events would have needed to bring them to the well in the first place, to see those dead bodies.
No, it was a prank because everything in this goddamn house was set up. And at some moments, it was frustrating. Not like a negative frustrating, it was just like, I was feeling bad for the people living in this house.
You know, putting an explosive in a cigar is pretty fucking dangerous. Okay, hold on. Maybe we should just stop the dislikes for a second. Let's go on to our favorite pranks. My favorite prank is easily the light switch. So damn good. It doesn't hurt anyone. it just frustrates them. When Rob's just sitting there.
I'm not angry at you. I'm just angry.
And he goes to turn off the light, and another light pops on. He's like, oh, he's already pissed. Now he's more pissed. He walks over, turns off the other light. Oh, this other fucking light goes on. That's a perfect prank. These guys on YouTube doing all their prank videos 3-5 years ago when pranks were a big thing, this is the prank you need to pull on your friends. Don't just kiss girls on the beach.
Yeah, the light switch one is easily the best one. I would say the other one that was entertaining would have to be the chair gag. And it happens twice.
Yeah, I would have been so pissed. And honestly, after the first one, you'd always think about it. Because I remember back in like high school, I once sat down and somebody like pulled the chair out and I fell on my ass. Then for the rest of high school, every time I sat down, I always was like, am I gonna fall on my ass again? So this is gonna haunt him for the rest of his life. Not to mention like the whole traumatizing experience this entire house has been.
Oh, what do you think's worse? Him getting like hung up on a rope and a snake actually like nibbling him? I like how they called it out though. They're like, everything went according to plan, except for the snake. Sorry about that, Arch. If we're talking about the pranks overall, the best prank was the knife prank, but we've touched about that where they're fighting on the boat and the guy just goes and throws the knife at Skip. That was a great setup.
I don't know what game they were playing where you just throw a knife at the ground and you have to grab.
They're playing Knifey Stretchy.
They were playing Knifey Stretchy. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You up for a game of stretch?
Okay.
And that's the thing. You didn't think it was a like knife where the blade goes in, like we've seen later on in the film, because they kept throwing that knife into like the wooden dock.
They're good. They're good pranksters.
Yeah, they're fantastic pranksters. Of course, you had the whoopee cushion gag.
Why is that even in the favorite? Worst pranks. The whoopee cushion.
What would you be more pissed at? You go to drink your champagne and it comes all over you? Or you go to turn on the sink and it squirts you in the face?
I'd be more pissed at the sink gag. Because at least I have control over the glass. I see something's being all fucked up, then I'm just gonna put the glass down. If I'm like going to wash my hands or wash my face, I'm getting ready for bed. I don't want to be doused in water because now it's like I need to dry myself off. Imagine you get sprayed in the face and then you have to deal with the light thing too.
And then you go to change the bulb and the doorknob comes off. Prank house.
Coming soon to MTV. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. I'm shocked we hadn't watched this sooner because this movie rocked. For an 80s slasher, this was excellent. It didn't need boobs and blood to be great. It just had excellent characters, great writing, a bunch of fun pranks, and the pacing was just on point. Everybody did an awesome job, and I just love this movie. And the twist was both great, and also would be so frustrating if you were anybody involved in this and had no idea.
I'm never gonna forget this weekend as long as I live.
I just think this is a great movie, so I'm gonna give this 5 weird sex positions out of 5.
For a first time watch, I was blown away by this movie. This was a fantastic whodunit. A lot of the times, I'm amazed that something like this goes unspoiled, especially when it's so old, yet I don't hear people talk about April Fool's Day, and this should be a film that more people should be talking about. I really can't see anything wrong with this movie. I had a great time watching it, the cast was fantastic, and the story, I was just very involved. I think having a twist within a twist can really come off wrong in most films, but they nailed it in this one. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 5 dead peeping toms out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if you want to listen to our commentary, again, we have it linked in the description as well. Pinned comment, check it out. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything here on Bloodbath and beyond.